Bismillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah, amma ba'd. Dear respected brothers, yesterday we were going through the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam. So I did not want to leave it halfway. There was a very famous part of the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam when he was thrown into the fire by Namrud. There is a lot of great lessons for us in it. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا إِبْرَاهِيمَ رُشْدَهُ مِنْ قَبْلُ وَكُنَّا بِهِ عَالِمِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He gave Ibrahim alayhi salam a very good understanding of deen, and obviously he was a Nabi Khalil of Allah, the friend of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So in their time, at the time of Ibrahim alayhi salam, their tribe, his tribe, what they used to do is that once a year, they used to have, they had multiple idols in one big house that used to worship, but there was a festival that they used to go to on one particular day, and the whole tribe, the whole neighborhood, whatever the clan was, they used to go together, men, women, everyone used to just go, nobody used to leave behind. So Ibrahim alayhi salam, he's trying to preach them about Allah, and there is no one worthy of worship except Allah, and you should listen to what I'm saying. But nobody wanted to listen to him, because he was just a young man, and they used to say that, what is he talking about? He is just a young man, and we have seen our forefathers worship these idols, and these, this idol gives us water, and this idol gives us food, and this gives us babies, and this gives us this, and this gives us that. They had an idol for every single need of themselves. So Ibrahim alayhi salam, when that day came, what happened that day, they were gathering, everybody, let's go. So they came to Ibrahim alayhi salam, and they said that, hey Ibrahim, let's go. So he said, no, I'm not feeling well, so I'm going to stay behind. I'm not feeling well, I cannot travel, so I'm going to stay behind. So they left him. They said, okay, go, no problem, stay behind. Everybody else left. Nobody was left over in the neighborhood, in the tribe. So when everybody was gone, Ibrahim alayhi salam, he got up, and he had an axe with him, and he went inside that room, that big huge room that had all the idols. All the idols were in line next to the walls, and there was one big idol that was the king of all those idols, just like they have in the courts of the kings. So Ibrahim alayhi salam, he went and he took the axe, and one by one started to break all the idols. He broke all the idols one by one until he broke all of them except the one big one. He left the big one alone. He said, okay, now you stay here, and he put the axe on the arm of the big idol. So why did he leave the big idol? He said that will make a good argument for him when he speaks with the people when they come back. So what he did is that he came back home and he stayed in his house. When they came back, and they used to have a big huge amount of food they used to bring from there, and they used to give that food to their idols. So they came to that room, and they came to give the food to the idols, and they saw that the idols were broken, chunks of wood here and pieces of stone here, and the head is there, the hand is there, and the foot is there, and everything's messed up. And they see that the axe is in the arm of the big idol, the king of the idols. So everybody's worried, like, what happened? Who did this? Who can do this with us? Suddenly somebody said that, there's a young man by the name of Ibrahim. قَالُوا سَمِعْنَا فَتًى يَذْكُرُهُمْ يُقَالُ لَهُ إِبْرَاهِيم. I remember a man that, he's a young man. He talks about, idols are not worthy of worship. So let's go talk to him. Let's see what he says. قَالُوا أَنْتَ فَعَلْتَ هَذَا بِآلِهَتِنَا يَا إِبْرَاهِيم. They come to him and they say, oh Ibrahim, are you the one who did this with our idols? What did he say? قَالَ بَلْ فَعَلَ كَبِيرُهُمْ هَذَا. He said, go and ask the one that has the axe. It's a general rule, whoever has the weapon, he is the killer. So he has the axe, I don't have the axe. Go ask him. قَالَ بَلْ فَعَلَ. He is the one who did it. كَبِيرُهُمْ هَذَا فَاسْأَلُوهُمْ إِنْ كَانُوا يَنْطِقُونَ. Go and ask him, go talk to him and see if he talks to you, he replies to you. Go talk to him. So فَرَجَعُوا إِلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ فَقَالُوا إِنَّكُمْ أَنْتُمُ الظَّالِمُونَ ثُمَّ نُكِسُوا عَلَىٰ رُؤُوسِهِمْ. What did they say? They said that, look, Ibrahim, we cannot talk to him. How are we supposed to talk to him? He's a piece of wood. He said, exactly, that's what I'm trying to explain. He is a piece of wood. He's a piece of, all these idols were stone, wood, or maybe you made them out of gold or silver, but they are nothing. You cannot do anything with them. So they came back to their senses a little bit, but Shaitan was also with them. They came back to their senses that he is saying something right, but their ego did not let them go. Their ego did not let them go, and they said, no, we have to punish this guy. He did something very bad with our ilah, our idols. So they went to the king. His name was Namrud, and they said that this is what happened, and this is the no, not the victim. What do you call it? This is the person who did the act. So we have to, arrest him. Give us the warrant of arrest. So they got the warrant of arrest, and they came and took Ibrahim alayhi salam in front of Namrud, and Namrud. And they started to talk, okay, look, what are you trying to worship? What's going on? What do you think? These idols cannot do anything. Worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is the one that who created everything, who created the heavens, the skies, the earth, everything that it contains. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who created it. Why are you worshiping these pieces of wood, pieces of stone, of gold or silver, whatever you made them out of? They cannot even help you with anything. ما لا ينفعكم شيئا ولا يضركم. They cannot even benefit you even a particle of a quantity of atom. They cannot benefit you or they cannot harm you. Why are you doing this? So they said, أُفِّلْ لَكُمْ وَلِمَا تَعْبُدُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ فَلَا تَعْقِلُونَ. They said, okay, now look, the thing is that their ego was there. They understood that he's saying something true. But if we do not punish him, then our ego is going to be hurt. So what they did is, قَالُوا حَرِّقُوهُ وَانْصُرُوا آلِهَتَكُمْ. Burn him. His punishment is that we will burn him and we will help our idols. Allahu Akbar. Now, Mufassirin say that Namrud, he ordered to gather so much firewood that it took them months to gather that firewood, and the fire was lit, and it was lit so high that if a bird used to fly over it, it used to burn and fall inside it. And they could not go close to fire. When we make a barbecue, right? That fire we make, we are like 3-4 feet away from it, but our hands burn. We have that special glove to barbecue. So that fire was so humongous and so big that they could not even go near it. And now there's another question: how should we throw him in? So that's when Iblis, he came in a form of a very old wise man. He said, okay, let me tell you how to throw him in. He showed them to make a catapult, and they tied Ibrahim alayhi salam, his hands and his legs. They put him inside and they threw him with the catapult. Now Ibrahim alayhi salam, he's in mid-air, going towards the fire. And this is in the books of Tafsir. On the arsh of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all the malaika, because they're not alimul ghaib, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only one who is alimul ghaib. All the angels, they're in a state of fear and horror that, oh Allah, he is your Khalil, he is your friend. What are you letting them do with your Khalil? Why don't you just punish them? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling them, look and see. And then the angel of the air and the angel of the sea, he comes and he says that, oh Allah, if you give us permission, we want to help Ibrahim alayhi salam. Ibrahim alayhi salam, he had so much yaqeen in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knew that he will not accept anyone's help except mine. So he said, if you want, go and ask him if he wants your help. Okay, I have no problem. So those two angels, they come to Ibrahim alayhi salam while he's in mid-air, and he's about to fall in the fire. And he knows that there's fire right there, and he is falling into that, almost about to. And then the angels come and say, oh Ibrahim, we have came with the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help you out. The angel of air says that I will blow so the wind so fast that the fire will be put out. And the angel of water says that I will raise water from the ground and shower water from the sky so that the fire will be put out if you give me permission. So what does Ibrahim alayhi salam say? At that time, if there's a person like me with very, very weak yaqeen, I'm like, yes, please help me. It's just like a drowning person. He just wants to grab onto something. But Ibrahim alayhi salam was Khalilullah. He was the friend of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He was a Nabi. What did he say? Amma ilayka fala wa amma ilallahi fana'am. I do not have any need towards you, but my need is only to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I only ask from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is the one who will help me. So the angels, they left, and he was thrown, he fell into the fire. As soon as he fell into the fire, his clothes burned, the ropes burned, everything burned, but not a single hair of his body burned. Not a single hair. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directly commanded the fire, Ya nar kuni bardan wa salaman ala Ibrahim. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he left the visual, the same thing, burning fire, He did not change anything. He left everything there, but he took the quality of burning out of the fire. That is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He leaves everything that is, the visual that we see, the sabab is there, but it cannot burn because it does not have the hukam, it does not have the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to burn. It had the permission to burn his clothes, it had the permission to burn the ropes he was tied with, but it did not have the permission to even touch Ibrahim alayhi salam. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directly commanded the fire, Ya nar kuni barda, become cold. So as soon, the ulama of Tafsir, they say, as soon as the fire was given the command of becoming cold, it became so cold that Ibrahim alayhi salam started to shiver a little bit. Then immediately Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's command came, wa salama, become mild cold, ala Ibrahim. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who can do anything, anywhere, anytime, for anyone, however he likes, however he thinks better for them, he can do it for them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the qudra to do it. And Ibrahim alayhi salam, he is thrown into the fire. Now the fire, everyone outside is seeing, it's blazing fire, so high, so humongous, nobody can go close to it. And that fire burned for 40 days. And what was inside? There was a garden for Ibrahim alayhi salam inside. There was fresh water for Ibrahim alayhi salam inside. There was a tree of pomegranate for Ibrahim alayhi salam inside. Who created that? Allah. Who has the ability to do that? Allah. Who can do that for everyone, whoever He wants? Allah. So my respected brothers, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one that our yaqeen should be on fully, completely, in every situation. Like Ibrahim alayhi salam said, Amma ilallahi fana'am, wa amma ilayka fala. I do not have any need towards you. I only ask for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make for him? He created a very beautiful garden. He was given clothing by Jibreel alayhi salam. And after the 40 days passed, he came out of the fire live and unharmed. Everybody's like, what's going on? What happened? We thought he was going to be burned and even his bones are going to be just finished. But when he came out, he went back, and then one of his companions asked him, Oh Ibrahim, I have a question for you. What were the best days in your life? What were the best days in your life? So what Ibrahim alayhi salam said, oh my companion, the best days of my life were those 40 days that I spent in the fire. Why? Because every single day Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used to ask, Oh Ibrahim, how are you? Oh Ibrahim, how are you? Why? Because he sacrificed for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He did not look that I am doing this, he gave his life to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when we sacrifice our wealth, ourselves, our families, our needs for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we won't have to slaughter our families. No. That was only for Ibrahim alayhi salam. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not accept the slaughtering of his son. He instead put a ram there. So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala just wants to see that what is the intention inside the heart. Is this intention for the sake, is this sacrifice for the sake of Allah? Is he doing this for pleasing me, or he is just doing it for showing others? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helps, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides according to the sacrifice that is made. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq and the ability to make sacrifices for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to make sacrifices for the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What is the sacrifice today? To just take out 10 minutes from our job and pray salah, with jama'ah maybe, or if we cannot do that, at least pray salah on time. What is the sacrifice for us? That if the weather is hot, just fast for 16 hours, 15 hours. What is the sacrifice for us? Is that if the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in front of us and my need is in front of us, just delay my need, not let it go, just delay it a little bit and fulfill the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Insha'Allah, when we are pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala like this, in this manner, the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will come and He will assist us in every need of this world that we have, and inshallah in the akhirah.